everyone. Thanks for coming to Director Cord Wargaming. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have Ryan and Jake. Ryan brought his orcs, as usual, and Jake brought the Kruelboyz. It's the first time on the channel with those, so it should be fun to see that. Before we get into this, if you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, join the horde. And now, let's get into the show, folks. Here we go.
So 1 to 3, we pick the first 6. 4 to 6, we'll pick the second 6, and this is the mission of those. So front half and back half. So front half, first mission.
Okay, first mission.
Pretty easy.
Sure.
So this is the roll for attacker and defender. 2. Roll again. I assume. Okay, so which one do you want? Attacker or defender? Defender drops first.
I'll be defender.
Okay, so I'll be attacker.
Alright, it looks like we're doing marking territory. It is going to be 2 warring tribes are locked in battle for territory, which seems thematic for what we're doing. Both seeking complete dominance over the other. Who will yield first? Each player picks an army and then rolls off. The winner chooses if they want to be attacker or defender. And then that's going to decide who is doing which deployment. The defender would set up first.
So that's really like 40k.
Yeah, I think they kind of did this like the last year's battle pack a lot because like looks the same.
Exactly.
It's like
it's set up the same.
Yeah, so
we roll for who's going to basically be attacker or defender, and then whoever picks that side, whoever's defender gets to set up first. Okay, that's pretty insane.
And then the defender sets up. Objectives are shown on the map. It looks like it will just be like kind of 4 objectives. The attacker picks which territory they're in. The players use alternating deployment. Starting with the 3rd battle round, you win a major victory if you control all the objectives. Oh gosh, that's gonna be hard for me to do against you. So yeah, it's gonna be 4 objectives, and then whoever takes all 4 wins. Otherwise, I think that's the major victory. If neither player has won the major victory by the end, whoever completed the most battle tactics gets the minor victory.
Okay.
If they've completed the same amount of battle tactics, it's a draw.
Okay.
And what page is that on?
That is going to be page 22.
Of?
22 of?
Like the book. Title of the book.
Oh. I don't know how to...
No. The title of the book.
Oh, it's going to be of the General's Handbook, Pitch Battles 2021.
Hey guys, it's Ryan playing AOS in 3.0 for the first time. The only thing I ever, know about AOS is orcs, so I'm playing that. So let's just go through this really weird thing that I don't know anything about. So I obviously picked Ironjawz because that's what I want to run. So I picked that core battalion, which is Ironjawz Fist. I have Gordrak. I have a Mega Boss over there. But I have a set of 10 Ardboys with the musician and everything, and the bearer. So there's 10 there because that means it's reinforced, which is a new thing. And this is part of the Ironjawz Fist 2 to 5 troops requested. Same thing with the brutes here. We got 5 brutes with the boss having the boss claw and the smasher. One guy having the jagged gore haka. And we also have another one of those later on. But yeah, so then we got Gordrak and his whole thing. He's not my general as per usual. Then we got Gore Gruntas, more Gore Gruntas, and another Gore Gruntas as per usual for me. Then we go to another set of 5 brutes, and then we have our big boss, Mega Boss and Maw Crusher. He has Armor of Gork, so that means that he goes down to having 10 inches as a movement speed and some other fun things. And he also has Meanin and Hulking Brute, as well as the Boss Choppa and Riptooth Fist as his weapons. Overall together this is 1980 points, and let's hope that it does maybe as well as it did before, but I always lost before, so the only way is up at this point. So.
And it's not October, so.
And it's not October anymore. I missed October.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Jake. This is the first time on playing Kruelboyz, the new orc army. Right now I am running the Big Yella's Allegiance, which is going to make all my shooting Auric units get +3 to range. That'd be including these 3 units here, as well as they get to re-roll 1s in the first battle round, for shooting attacks. I am going to be running 2 battalions. One of them was the 1-drop battalion, and then the other one is going to give me a command point at the beginning of the 1 battle round of my choice, as well as giving me an additional artifact. I am running 1 squad of 10 Hobgrots, 1 squad reinforced of Manskewer Boltboys, 1 squad of cool guys with the red shields with the scare tactics. I got ourselves the boss over here with Stabgrot. We got ourselves the Snatcha boss, and he is going to be my general with the artifact Amulet of Power. We got Gordrak Gobsprak backing him up here. We got the Swamp Caller Shaman, and he is going to have the spell of the Swirling Mists. We got the the Manskewer Boltboys reinforced over here. We got another squad of 10 Hobgrots, and then a Manskewer Boltboy, as well as a Meierbrute Troggoth with Breaker Boss. And that is going to be my 1960 points, as well as I have Flaming Head Endless Spell. Okay, so we got our command trait, Super Sneaky. Before we pick the first player's turn, I can move 1 unit of my choice anywhere 9 inches away from enemy units. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put this guy over here. Let's go ahead and put him right into the heat of it. 9 inches away from these Gruntas. A little bit farther back.
You, that's why.
Okay, you still pick me.
Yeah, because I picked you, that's why you got to do that, correct?
No, I get to do this before you pick.
That's why I recorded it.
Oh.
That's what I was trying to explain, but like then they recorded.
No, I get you.
So you still get to pick.
Oh, well, if you're already gonna be there, then I might as well hit you. You know, so I guess I'll go first. Son of a... Oh boy, this is kind of crazy. The Mighty Destroyers round 1 is perfect, especially for what we have going on. So I picked the battle tactic to kill a battle line round 1. I successfully did that. Not only I killed this monster that went in the middle with all I had to use was Gordrak. Over in this corner, he had some goblins and some shooter guys. Killed all them. I could have placed differently and had him jump to the guys in the back, but I screwed that up for myself. But other than that, we did kill the battle line, so we do have that battle tactic is complete for round 1. We hold the other 2 in the back. Other than that, I think I still lost one of my command points because I didn't use it, which is
that actually
weird.
carries over.
What? I was told that at the end because it says you don't get them anymore. But yeah, at the end of the battle round, any command points that have not been used are lost, so I lose it.
Battle round.
Oh, I guess I still got it.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, other than that, I did a roar here and a stomp over there. Those were my which one I picked to do it. Probably next round will be a little bit different. Gordrak will probably try and smash instead. So this guy having his hulking bulk and the meaning and everything had just wiped through with mortal wounds. And these -1 to hit for rend on these guys when they have a 6-up to save, that's killer for them. So we'll see how strong the guys in the back are now.
Well, we're not going back to the swamp. We're coming at you full force this turn to see what we can do.
Get out of my village! So.
Here we go. Kruelboyz, turn 1.
Alright, Kruelboyz, turn 1. We ended up moving some guys around, miscasting some spells, attempting to do some stuff. We tried to shoot a ballista over here, completely failed. We went ahead and in our movement phase tried to make an advance on this point here. He redeployed 3 inches, which ended up keeping him alive at just 3 wounds over here, hitting him with a couple mortal wounds from our crossbows. But we did end up moving our gut rippas and the boss here to end up taking out some pigs, and then coming close to killing him with our snatcher boss. But he's just a little bit tired out this round. We're spread a little thin, but we'll have to see what happened. We took this objective and failed our battle tactic to kill this Maw Crusher this turn. But roll off to see who takes the turn.
Oh, jeez.
The infamous roll off.
All right, so round 2 roll off. 6. Oh, thank God. I needed that. I need that big time.
So, I assume you're taking it?
Oh, hell yeah! It's my turn!
I guess I'll take the command point if it will help.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, so the Maw Crushers did their work. The battle trait that I picked was to kill a monster. I killed 2 this turn. So, I got really lucky. I barely killed his goblin group by 1. I barely killed his bird by 1. And I barely killed the other guy. So it's great. So I went down the line starting over here. I took these guys, charged them in, killed all these dudes. Moved next, I had Gordrak come in, kill the bird. And then I had our boy over here attack and kill that, which then allows me to also then again bounce to these guys to hit, which they killed 4 guys. And they took 1 wound. So that's kind of how that went. Went really well. Got our battle tactic and everything. So these shooter boys though are insane, and I'm not looking forward to that. But then again, he still has 22 health. And the other guy goes up to, I'm going to put him at 2 on this counter just to show the extra, and then this guy killed this guy, so he's up to 5. So each one has 2 extra attacks and 2 extra wounds.
I think one thing that we forgot to do, I think these guys should have still had to pile in. We just kind of went straight to their attacks, so I think you do have this objective. You mentioned that you were going to do that, and then it never happened.
I thought we couldn't pile in afterwards.
You just didn't pile in for your charge.
Oh, yeah, they would have...
They would have been 3 inches closer.
Yeah, they would have been this way from when they attacked.
Yeah,
If that's
you
3
have
inches,
that.
and so in 3.0, what's the... is it from the center or from the edge of the objective? Because if it's from the center, I still don't have it.
No, I think it's 6.
It's 6 in the
Yeah.
new one? Alright, cool. Hell
So
yeah!
You just need that over there next time.
At the start of the next battle round, as long as I get on that objective, I'll be good.
Alright, Kruelboyz, turn 2.
Objection! No, so they're outside 3 inches here. Apparently it is a 6-inch diameter, just like 40k, so you're not, I do not have control of that objective, period. So I only control 2 right now. But if I get another turn, I'll have 3. I'll have else. So my general, it's in their shooting phase for the Kruelboyz. I have 6 health left on this guy because he healed 1 during the hero phase on his turn. He just rolled with, what are those guys called?
The Bolt Boys, Manskewer Bolt Boys.
So in that he rolls 6s, and those are mortal wounds, and then they get up to 2 mortal wounds.
2 each for each 6.
So that's 10 mortal wounds. I have a 6-up ward, which sounds like that's a 6-up Shield of Pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to save at least 6 of them. So I have failed this and failed that. So with these 2 being failed, that's 8 mortal wounds. He dies, and what happens with that is that if he gets a double turn, he has a chance to win if he can take out Gordrak and fend off this combat here, and he could potentially win based on just that. So he did. 1 cabbage down. Down cabbage.
It's a hard. It would be a very, very hard win, but it would potentially mean there's a game to be played.
Yeah, exactly.
On to combats, and then we'll go to the
Roll off.
All right, it's looking a little grim for the Kruelboyz, but we came in and we finally did what we planned to do 2 turns ago. We ended up shooting this guy right here for 8 mortal wounds. We got a 6, so they were straight to mortal wounds. We ended up getting 10 mortal wounds right here. Moved our shaman up here to block off movement onto this objective, which we are holding on for dear life. Yeah, we're just kind of in this area, so we'd at least bought ourselves one more turn. Lost a few casualties over here, and then we paid a command point for battle shock. Not doing very much damage back in return, but we're still holding ground. And we're going to go for the roll-off, I guess.
That's what you need. That's what you needed! You got your double turn.
There's a game to be played.
Yes.
All right, Kruelboyz, turn 3.
Time to pick up the corpses. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is the last hit from the pot grot. We're wounding on 3s. No rend for 1 damage, and that's all we need. Woo! Hot 6, fail and a 4-up. Oh! Exactly what you needed.
Barely makes it through.
Exactly what you needed.
Are they 2 separate models?
No.
They aren't? Oh.
So he has a 6-up shrug, and once he fails it the first time, the grot dies instead.
Oh!
So what happened here? He's still around,
So
right?
basically, Gordrak had 1 health left. He was shot by there, shot by this. He charged in and got him from 9 wounds. Actually, he was at 14, and now he's at 1 after everything. So Gordrak gets a hit back. Ideally, he's gonna kill him, but you know,
Come on,
we've seen some weird stuff. So
2-up save, 6-up
Yeah.
temporary shrug. Come on.
So he's on his last bracket anyway. So I'm just going to start with Mighty Fist and Tail because I haven't been able to use them at all. So that's 6 hits at its lowest bracket. They hit on 3s. And then they wound on 3s. So that's 4 wounds at -2 damage or -2 AP. Is he dead?
He's got a 2-up save this turn.
He's got a 2-up save this turn.
So 4-ups.
4-ups, yep. 4 4-ups. There's 3 damage apiece.
There's 6 up saves. Actually, I do it 1 at a time. When he fails 1, the grot dies instead.
Okay.
Okay, the grot dies instead. That's 5 damage to the guy.
Okay.
I know he's for sure alive still. I'll have to check that wounds characteristic for you. I think it's 7 or 6.
Okay, he's a hero, right?
Yeah, he's taking mortals, huh?
No, not yet. I mean, he will be with my next attack. Because he has 2...
6 wounds. Yep, 6 wounds.
So he has 1 wound left. So, he's had 2 Mighty Destroyers. Or Strength from Victory. So he has 2 extra attacks on his weapons. So, we're going to go with the hero one first, which is Smasha. We have 7 attacks because we have 2 Strength from Victories. These hit on 2s. And wound on 3s. So
that's a lot of
1,
wounds.
2, 3. So 3 wounds. They are above a 4, so that's 2 more wounds apiece. So
He's dead.
He's dead. Man, I love the new book.
Alright, we said get out of our swamp, but there was nothing we could do about it. We held our lines. It was our finest hour, but not so fine. We ended up dying here. We had a 2-up save and a 6-up shrug and still took the mortal wounds needed. We got him down to 1 and couldn't do it. We attacked with our guys, slogging along, and finally died here. That was all we got for this turn. It looks like these objectives are not defended at this point, so...
No, they are not. Okay, so with where it is at the beginning of my turn, all all that I have to do to win this game is move my Gore-Gruntas into range to control this objective, and Gordrak can go around and then charge in on his next turn while make a 3-inch charge, be in and beyond objective, and he has plus 10 models to him. So even if I don't, kill you, these guys can move in and also get it and control it at the end of the round. You wouldn't get another chance to shoot. So that's why we're going to call it there. But yeah, this is a crazy matchup to see that. This book is insane. They're going to FAQ that for sure.
It feels pretty powerful. Hopefully the other books catch up. The Kruelboyz are still pretty good, even though they didn't end up beating. It looks like the Ironjawz are definitely the most powerful thing in the new Oryx book.
Okay.
All right, you good?
Yep.
All right. Well, good game. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
No, absolutely.
Let's sit down and talk about what do you think worked well and what didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a crazy game. Orcs versus Orcs. So let's just talk about what was your MVP for the game? What was your best thing that you had?
I think the Bolt Boys were definitely the MVP. They're just so consistent with the damage that they put out.
That's what I was going to say.
Besides like everything else in the army, there's some hit or miss units on the damage output, but it feels like them consistently can deal it. And taking that loss at the beginning of the game of the other 6, huge.
Yep, no, that was huge. But yeah, that was by far what I would say is your biggest MVP. Mine was probably the general that I had, the other Maw Crusher. With having the Meanin thing to give him on a 2-up, making it a V6, that helped a lot. Even the heavy, whatever it was, which I roll another D3 mortal wounds if you're within a certain distance, like that helped just eat through a bunch of stuff. So I would say it was him. Who would be your worst one?
I think it was definitely going to be Gobsprack.
He's the parrot guy?
Yeah, he was the Vulture. I always call him a parrot, not the Mork. He just makes sense. He's talking a little too much. And he convinced me to bring him. He really is a utility character, and against your complete aggro, there's not much that he can do to counter.
Right. But when it comes to, like, in a regular list that's going to go to a competition, to a tournament, would somebody bring him to outdo, like, somebody who would bring, like, Nagash?
I would say that he is worth considering that you... So what makes the Bolt Boys so consistent, and this is going to explain a few things, was that Swamp Caller Shaman is putting the poison on the Bolt Boys. But when he does that, he cannot cast any other spells. He can still unbind, but you still are going to want to have a wizard for casting other spells, like Mystic Shield or Arcane Bolt, and he is the only other character in the army that can do that. So if you're going to a tournament, unless you take another one, well, you're probably going to put that on your other crossbows.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, because what's the distance that you can cast the poison on, or is it only one unit?
Yeah, it's only one unit.
So I would do that.
And you double it up on each crossbow that you target. I definitely need to pick one up. So he's your only other option for playing that. Not like a 3-4 round, 6 round tournament. You're going to want to have some spell.
Something to go on. Because as soon as Nagash shows up, everything's off the table.
Tackless.
Like, you just need to shoot everything at that thing. You can kill it right away. I've fought it multiple times. No. Kill it right away. Target. And your mortal wounds would probably help out a lot.
And then your worst character?
My worst character? My Ard Boys. They're just the useless pieces of crap for battle line. I mean, like, the Brutes are going to sit here and hold the line, just in case you did kill my guys and come in, like, they're there. That's fine. But the Ard Boys, they're so slow. And
they also, they lost their 3+ to hit and went to 4+ with no remedy.
I didn't even look at their stuff because I didn't know.
Well, I'm glad we didn't disappoint you. They're still good. They have some other buffs. They're cheap, but like these guys are way better. And we didn't even get to the part where you get to use the ignore all 1 wound models on objectives.
Oh, yeah, that would have been
So
great.
good. Really
Maybe add
answers
more
Anna's
goblins.
horse.
So you were saying with battle line, goblins were battle line or other?
They're other.
They're other. Why
Surprisingly, other. I brought, in my allegiance, you can have the Bolt Boys be battle line, and then your Shield Boys. The Gut Rippas.
So why are they just cheap?
They're just cheap. There's no other bodies in this game that you can take. Really, besides your 180.10 man battle line units, and that really eats up a lot of points. So 10 bodies for 95 points,
Done.
just as a screen.
Done. Yeah.
And if I don't need a screen because I'm shooting so well, I can just move forward onto an objective.
So if you could change your strategy, what would you do? With how you deployed, how you targeted different things, how would you change it up?
Considering I've never faced the Ironjawz, especially in this new edition, because I'm usually playing them, and I should know better. I didn't consider the movement on them to be able to get around my screening line and get to my Bolt Boys. I think I would have moved the line back and cut it off here and really tightened everything up. That does put me in a tough scenario that if you did break through that line on turn 1, you're charging multiple units at the same time, but it would have been safer. And I think, based off of what happened in the game, there wouldn't have been much different that would have happened on how you would have moved if I had made that decision, which would have put me at 240 points higher than I was, and a lot higher damage output than I was this game.
I think that if you would have castled, is the term that I understand, and you would have done that more of an angle, and maybe I would have, if you would have came in closer to that objective, closer to the rocks to block my ability to go through it, and put your guys back maybe like 6 inches from that line, and they were in range of your rat guy, within range of your poison guy, you would have been able to have both arrow guys shoot the general off the table, I think, with the other dude with the per wound rolling thing. If you would have hit just the general, he would have been dead. If you target focus that, even if I do the other defend thing against shooting, it doesn't even matter because they're all mortals. You're just going to chew it out of the way. And just like, one of the things that I learned for 40k tactics is kill a unit. Don't split it and hope for the best. Kill a unit that's guaranteed not going to be there anymore, and then deal with it afterwards. That's one of the strategies they told you. It's like, don't split as much as possible.
And that's what I was considering doing. At the point where you made a 3-inch redeploy over here, it put me just out of range on that, and when you move it, it halves its range. So it's better to just sit here and try to still deal damage where he was, but it's the absolute right thing to do. Always focus in one area and just take it out, because that's going to add it up. And it didn't work out for me this game.
I would have maybe
sometimes.
also pulled him this way a little bit more, because I think Chad was saying something about if these are monsters, maybe you don't exactly need line of sight.
Yeah, and I gotta look that rule up, because I'm pretty sure if they're a monster, they can't hide. I guess that's the thing. So I think you still do need line of sight, but they can't hide if there's buildings and things like that.
View it as a cylinder. He's flying in the air the whole time, going like this.
Yeah, I'll have to look up. I can't remember
I think you need line of sight, but they don't get cover.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And
I think he had line of sight no matter what, because the model's pretty long.
it was bigger than I expected. Like when it was closer, I was like, every time I was like, "Yep, he's in line of sight. Yep, he's in line of sight." But when I was deploying, I kind of didn't feel. I didn't expect him to be landing on these buildings all the time.
Yeah.
And he was just doing whatever he wanted, stomping around.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. But I was considering that, but it's definitely in hindsight, 2020.
Yeah. I just mean, if I was doing this, what's the range on the rat guy for giving you extra stuff?
12 inches.
Bubble?
Yeah.
Like it's a 12-inch radius?
Yep.
Right, so I would deploy it as far as castling, put that big guy in the big gun in the middle, the archers right next to him, put the other guy so he's barely within 12-inch range of their archers. They're maybe like, you have your big gun here and you've got them on the flanks of it, and then put your goblins around it, covering it, so that I would have to go around the backside to get in, because I can't go over. You know, that's what I would have maybe changed.
I think there's a possible. I was talking about how Gobstruck is probably good to bring competitively. I think there is an argument to bring a second one of those.
Oh, of the big guns? Yeah.
Of the big guns, and then of
The
the radius, so that I can make it just cover the whole field.
That might be a way to go.
I may have gotten a little too aggressive with him too, and moving him forward to fight it. I was very close to killing him, but
Yeah.
since I didn't kill him, it would probably have been consistently doing more damage.
No, you rolled like...
When I did the 5/6s, it would have been an additional 5 mortal wounds.
Yeah, I mean, like, you rolled a bunch of dice. It was like 6 dice or something, and 3 of them right down the middle were all 1s. And I'm like, oh, that saved me there.
Let's be honest, too. Your dice rolls were totally different this game.
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah. The orc dice from Pat, from the source, actually worked this game. It's great. Well, here and there. They started out rough, and then they came through in the end.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. But I think the curse does shine through, though, when we rolled 3 sets of
Oh, yeah.
ones, 2 ones each.
2 sets of 1s. That was bad.
Yeah, statistically. Yeah, it's still pretty
really bad. Really bad. I didn't want to do the math in my head, but yeah, that's real.
It's like an unexpected eclipse.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, other than that, I think if you did that differently, or you added those different models and maybe castled differently, I think you could have taken out a lot of guys and actually been able to move your bolt boys forward and killed these brutes from a long distance and like got me off the objectives and could have potentially won with major victory by round 5.
Yeah, forcing you to move forward eventually.
Yeah, forcing me to move forward, you kill them in the process.
And if your heroes were dead, you can't really issue the movement commands quite as much. I do admit the strategy of castling is very foreign to me. I usually play Destruction, I usually play Beast Claws.
Yeah,
I
just
usually
run in
play,
there, destroy everything.
And,
screw it, no, go in.
Yeah, and so this is my first Destruction army where I have to really think about all that deployment and the bubbles and radiuses and keeping everybody where they need to be, and there's like a structure. Yeah, I'll have to figure this one out because it cuts our range in half when we move forward. So that's like the opposite of what we do. So
don't
you
have
have
to
to
shoot multiple more times if you you were saying?
Yeah, so maybe if we're kind of like keeping up with each other and fighting in the middle, that would be good.
I mean, like, if you get to shoot twice, and on 5s and 6s, it's
2
mortals. I would be, if somebody's close, I would move them a half an inch. You know,
yeah, you can do that.
This is double my attacks because all I'm going for at 5s and 6s doesn't matter. You know, as long as something's in range, it doesn't matter. So yeah, well, cool. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate you coming in. You should bring your buddies in as soon as they paint their armies.
Yeah, some of them are painted. Their Chaos Archeon armies are painted and stuff like that. But they got 2 new armies that they're really big on and paint real slow. But I'll get that Lumineth going, and I'm looking forward to playing against those Beast Claw.
Yeah, when we find that book.
I'll bring mine next time.
Or I'll just go buy another.
Yeah.
Or we'll go
one or the other.
Whatever.
We'll figure it out.
Whatever happens first.
Yeah. So thanks for coming to the channel. Welcome to Dark Core Warming. Oh,
thanks,
jeez, that's the intro. That's the intro. So thanks for watching the video. We appreciate you coming by. Please like, share, and subscribe. Join the Horde. All that fun stuff. We'll see you next time.